Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we've got a brand new marker from HK to look at today. This is the SABR from HKarmy. So this is a great beginner gun, entry-level gun, very similar in I don't want to call it design, but similar in working to a Zodin or Kingman or Defy guns, all those stacked two blowback guns that we're super familiar with and always have had throughout the years. It's another version of that kind of gun right there. So again, easy to work on, easy to maintenance yourself, just some new flashes to it right here. So I have the colors that we have in stock right now. I just wanted to kind of show you the colors. We've got this purple one right here. It does come with the barrel. If I can get this one out of here, right there. It's a 12-inch Cocker threaded barrel. So I'm going to show you that purple one color-wise. I don't know how that's, oh, there it goes right there. We got that. Slide that one out of the way. We've got just a black one right there. I think there is one color we're missing. I'm pretty sure we have 5 colors. What was that? Purple and black. And then we have pewter right here. And whatever this one is, I'll be able to tell you the color that we don't have right now. So this is blue. So red. We're missing a red one right now. I'm pretty sure it sold out immediately when we first got it. We're going to look at this one and pull it out of here. Underneath here is a catalog. This is all just HK product they've got going on. That's just a spacer barrel right there. And then inside this, I would assume is going to be a barrel sleeve. And then a basic startup manual and some Allen keys, a couple O-rings to do some maintenance. And then, yeah, so we've got a breakdown of the marker and just some helpful hints. So a very limited startup manual. All right, let's get that over here. So the first thing you notice about this marker is that it has no hose. It's internally hosed. Now it is not well, there's one way to look at this. It is gas through the grip. All right, but the grip is not machined out of aluminum to allow air to pass through it and into the marker. So it is a gas hose through the frame and grip gun. So there is a hose that runs from here up like this through the front of the grip and then up into the front of the gun. So if you were to take all this stuff off, the hose would go burp and it would be right down here. It's designed in such a way that it fits through there and snakes through there. So there is a hose that is inside there, and we'll look at it and take it apart, but it is not hoseless or gas through frame. It still has a hose or a line inside of it. Let's see here. So I'm going to take these grip panels off of here and we'll start to get into it. So the ASA down at the bottom is not an on-off ASA or anything. It's just an ASA. You can screw your tank into it. I guess before I take the rest of the grips off, let's talk about the gun a little bit. You've got your front grip right here, which gives you a nice something to hold on to. It's contoured so that you can get your hand around it. You've got eye covers, detent covers. I'm not going to call them eye covers. I'm used to saying that. Detent covers, because underneath here is where the detents sit. There are no eyes in this marker. It's not electric, so there's no eye system inside of it. We've got our push safety on off right there. Safety's on, safety's off. You can cock this back before you put your tank on. Get ready to shoot it. Make sure your safety's on. When you get out onto the field, you can pull that trigger and go ahead and shoot that. Adjustment for velocity is done through the back. You can see there's an arrow right there. Plus and minus, turn it in the direction that you want to go. If you want to go up in velocity, plus, down in velocity, minus. Pull the pin up. We can get the bolt out the back, just like that. And we can also strip it down, super simple if we need to, which we'll pull it all apart. The feed neck is adjustable, so you can run this screw in or out to tighten down the feed neck on the loader. I'm assuming that down the road we might see aftermarket feed necks of some sort, because there's just 2 screws right there and right there, like the old Kingman style, that mount this feed neck to the body. So it is not threaded in. You would undo these 2 screws and you could take the feed neck off and allow you to switch it out for something else. Let's break that down. So let's pull the back cap off. That's going to pull this out. Now, here's our spring guide that's right here. Our spring's always going to go on our spring guide. And then inside here, we've got our bumper mechanism and our striker. The striker's got an O-ring on the front of it. We've got our bumper. When this is assembled and inside of the marker, it is going to look like this is going to go around here. That's going to go in there. And this is going to go right on top like that. So when this is sitting inside here, that's what we're looking at right there. All right. Pretty easy. Everything we've seen before. Now let's kind of get into this a little bit more. I am going to remove... Actually, I could... Well, I'm going to have to cut this off of here, and I don't seem to have my scissors with me. Or a razor. Oh, there we go. Right in front of my face. Put that off to the side. Undo this one. When I took these off the other day, when I first got this gun in, I took these two screws off, and then I really struggled to get the actual rubber grips off because they are really well secured onto there. You kind of have to get them and fold them back and kind of just pry them off right here. There's really no reason that you should ever need to take them off, but you can, just like that. And they kind of fit indexed right into that little thing right there, so it makes it easy to set on there. Now, you can see the hose coming up through here, and it's starting to come forward. If we take this one out, there's a screw that sits right up inside of here. Take that little set screw out of there. And then we can take this front piece off. And there's a little nut right here. You can see it. So that is going to go inside here so that when this is on there, this has something to screw into. So make sure you don't lose that piece out of there. Right? That did come out of there. I'm pretty sure that came out of there. We'll figure it out though, because I don't see how else that would thread in there. Definitely came out of there. All right, so we'll put that back on there. But here's our hose again. Hose running up through here, hose running through here, and then the hose goes into the frame right there. Now these both are just, they're attached, they're threaded in with O-rings. So they're not Loctited or taped or sealed or anything like that. They just thread in with the O-ring sealing up both connections. So they're easy to take apart, easy to disassemble, easy to get into. Let me take apart this one real quick. And we should be able to see what we're talking about inside there. You know, that's a metric. I didn't bring up my metric Allen keys today, because that one's not going to get in there. So we're going to have to use these ones. These are coming in handy. Kind of just want to show you how this is mounted up inside of here. So let's take this off. Take that off. Then we can pull this out a little bit further. All right, you see that? So this goes and pushes down into this piece right here. And because of the way this is bent right here, it can't go anywhere. It's trapped inside of here. And so when we push this down on here, these two O-rings seal up inside of here. And I'm pretty sure that even this threads on like that. So this part threads onto here, and it's attached or sealed up with an O-ring. So we can just put that on there. And this is how you would get these pieces in and out. If you needed to get this hose out of here, you could take that fitting off, undo the frame, drop the frame off, get that fitting off, and then just put it all back together. It's very, very simple to go through. And then we can just slide that back in. If you have a leak coming out of here, you just replace the O-rings. Very easy, very simple design to take things on and off, to fix, to repair. I like that. And plus it gets rid of the hose. You don't see that hose on the outside of the gun. Even though it's really not hoseless, that's okay. Easy peasy, just like that. Pull your frame screws off. You can pull that all apart. It's a simple design gun. All right, so let's get this back together. So here's our nut that fell out earlier. And there's a little slot right there. That just drops back inside of there. And then we would take this. And remember, that's where our screw goes in. And our screw goes in that way. So this is going to sit like that. So I'm going to hook this bottom part up. I'm going to see if that's the easiest way to do it. And it is. I would do that trying to go top and then somehow getting that to rotate on like that. Not going to work. So let's go that side and rotate that up. And then let's get that screw put in there. All right, so let's take our screw. Get that in there. Get that tightened up. Now, if you don't have that plate inside there that fell out, the screw is going to have nothing to thread into, and this is just going to be loose always. Maintenance is easy. You can clean it all out. When we're putting it back together, you do kind of have to do it in a certain order. So we've done tons of videos on putting the parts back into a Zoden guns, back into Kingman guns, but we'll do it again for this one, just so everybody understands. The hole on the top is where the bolt pin connects. Right there. So that bolt pin is going to stick down and that's going to connect into there. Because the back of this gun is sealed right here, you cannot attach these things outside of the gun and then slide them in together. They won't go in. So the first thing we want to do is take our striker and we're going to push it in with the hole facing up. You can see the hole is right there and it's facing up. But it won't go in because the striker is pushing against the sear. The sear sticks up inside of here and it catches this notch on the striker. Every time it gets forced back, the sear catches it like this. And when we pull the trigger drops the sear out of the way and it allows this to go forward under the tension of the spring. Right now, the sear is up. So this is trying to come forward and it's running into the sear. So what do? We pull the trigger and make the sear move. The sear will not move, though, unless we are putting pressure on it. So we drop this in with our hole facing up. It hits the sear. You can hear it sitting it. We push on the striker, and it drops right past it. Now we can look inside here, and we can see our hole is facing up. It's right there where I'm pointing at. Rather than putting this in right now and screwing this in, which will cause the striker that we just put in there to start to rotate around in circles. Therefore, our hole isn't facing up anymore, and then trying to line our bolt pin up is crazy. We're going to do our bolt first. We're going to slide that in. We're going to lock our bolt into place inside there and feel that it's nice and locked in there. And then we're going to do the same process that we did to get the striker in. We need to do it 2 times. The first time gets the striker in the first half, then we put the pressure on it again, pull the trigger, and it drops the rest of the way into the marker. Then we can take our spring, and I usually put the bumper around the spring. We put that into the back of the striker, put our guide pin in, and we screw it back together. And then check it to make sure. Lock it back, pull the trigger. Good. Now we're going to take our grips. We're going to put those back on. I think you have to kind of do the bottom, not the bottom, but like this part right here first. You kind of push them around. Yeah, there we go. Got that on there. And then we can put our panel screws back in. Definitely a unique marker. With the hidden hose design, I think it cleans the gun up a little bit, makes it look maybe a little more presentable. But it is a tried and true system that has worked for years and years and years right now. If you're looking for a great price marker, which looks different now, check one of these out. Sabers are in multiple colors that are available through the website. You can order yours through ansgear.com.